The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. I dropped my stick. Well, a good Tuesday evening to you. My name is Ron Juckin, and what we're going to do over the next 6 days is decide who is going to win the American League East. The California Angels have already clinched. They will host games 1 and 2 of the American League Championship Series next week. The Montreal Expos magic number is 2. They should clinch sometime before we sim again tomorrow. They will start their National League Championship Series with the Los Angeles Dodgers next week, which now leaves this. On September 24th, this is Friday night, the Baltimore Orioles and Milwaukee Brewers start a 3-game series. You're about to see the first of that 3-game series. Then the computer will sim the rest of the weekend, and then we'll play up to Wednesday, which is tomorrow, the 17th of July. And then from Wednesday forward, we will try to play every meaningful game the rest of the year, including a 4-game set between the Brewers and Orioles from Baltimore. The Tigers, as you will see, will play Baltimore tomorrow at noon. At 7 o'clock, it's a split emission doubleheader tomorrow. At 7 o'clock, we expect to do Milwaukee and Boston. And then every day along the way, any meaningful American League East game will be shown all the way up through Sunday. And if we have a 1-game playoff, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But tonight, it's Don Sutton against Mike Flanagan on a beautiful night in Milwaukee. Let's do this, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1982. Tonight, from Milwaukee's County Stadium, it's the Milwaukee Brewers and Baltimore Orioles. Brought to you by Patreon. Give Uncle Ron a tip by going to patreon.com/Retro Sports Network. How you doing, Jameson and the OG? Good to have you along on this Tuesday night. All right, that's enough getting me in trouble. And let's just get right to it. Here are the standings. Montreal's magic number is 2. They virtually have won it. They've not won it, of course, yet, but Philadelphia's margin is 8 games back. California, you see the X by them in the American League West. Kansas City just absolutely collapsed. And California will take that to the bank. They await the winner of this American League East brouhaha. Baltimore by 2.5 over Detroit. They've won 3 straight. The Tigers have lost 3 straight because Baltimore swept them. Milwaukee, you don't want to be playing 500 ball right now. But at the end of the weekend, if Milwaukee sweeps Baltimore, they will be 6-2 and even at 88 and 67. So that's the stakes for you. Let's tell you about Don Sutton, who Milwaukee stole at the last minute for their playoff drive. 3-0 since coming over from the Houston Astros. And a 2.67 ERA. This is his 5th start. His last start came against the New York Yankees. A complete game win on the 19th. 9 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5. He has not faced Baltimore. So overall, since coming over from Houston, 33 2/3 innings, 4 homers, 31 hits, 11 runs, 11 runs, 10 earned. He's walked 11, struck out 25. And this will be the lineup he will face. It's Al Bunbury leading off in center field for Baltimore. Glenn Gulliver will play third and bat second for the Birds. Ken Singleton is your DH. He'll hit third. Eddie Murray, the first baseman, cleans up. Cal Ripken, the shortstop, bats fifth. John Lowenstein is in left with the righty on the mound. He'll bat sixth. Gary Renicky is in right. He'll bat 7th. Rick Dempsey behind the plate will bat 8th. And Rich Dower will bat 9th. Defensively for Milwaukee, Ben Ogilvy a 9-7 in left. Gorman Thomas a 7-6 in center. Charlie Moore a 7-9 in right. Around the infield, Paul Molitor a 7 at third. Robin Yount a 10 at short. Jim Gantner a 6 at second. Cecil Cooper an 8 at first. The battery, Don Sutton, not a great fielder, a 5. Ted Simmons a 5 and a 6 behind the plate. All right, Al Bunbury, 263, 6 homers, and 46 RBI. Yep, they've done well at Memorial and struggled on the road, and that's what Milwaukee wants. Struggle time is here, and here it comes. So we start. Sutton delivers, and there's a base hit into right field. Charlie Moore got a late jump on it, and we'll throw it back in. So Baltimore starts with a base hit. Glenn Gulliver, 266, a homer, and 8 RBI. Lunchtime tomorrow, by the way, Baltimore at Detroit at 12 noon. And scheduled at the moment at 7. It'll be a split admission doubleheader. It'll be Milwaukee at Boston. Gulliver riding a 9-game hitting streak. Ground ball to Yount, should be 2. Gantner for 1, over to Cooper, and they do turn it. So 2 out, and nobody on for Kenny Singleton at 239. He's scuffled a bit this year. 12 homers and 64 RBI. Sutton deals, foul behind the plate, will do it again. How you doing, Mr. Al? Good to have you along. 1-2 the count. Sutton delivers, Singleton flies this one into center. Thomas is there, and that will retire the side. The Orioles go down on no runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Baltimore, nothing. Milwaukee coming up. Mike Flanagan looking for his 19th win of the year. 18-12 with a 4.04 ERA. This is start 34 for him. He will make one more start after this. Against the Brewers in 82, he has made 2 starts. He is 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA. The 1979 Cy Young Award winner, as soon as the computer cooperates, last pitched against the Indians on the 19th. 6 innings, 11 hits in a loss, 8 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. So overall, 20 homers over 247 innings, 252 hits, 124 runs, 111 earned, 91 walks, 115 strikeouts. And this will be the lineup that he will face. Randy, are there any more Ray Miracles left in Yankee Stadium? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a good one. Good evening, Captain Carl. All right, so here's the Brewer lineup. Paul Molitor leads off and plays third. Robin Yount will bat second and short. Cecil Cooper, the first baseman, hits third. Ted Simmons behind the plate cleans up. Gorman Thomas will hit fifth. He's hitting .216. Ben Ogilvy, the left fielder, will bat sixth. Don Money, the DH, will bat seventh. Charlie Moore, the mad right fielder, will bat eighth. And Jim Gantner will play second and bat ninth. Don Sutton threw 9 pitches in the first, defensively for the Birdies. John Lowenstein, a 5 and a 2 in left. Al Bunbury, an 8 and a 6 in center. Gary Renicky, a 4 and a 3 in right. The infield, Gulliver, not too shabby, a 5 at third. Cal Ripken, a 5 at short. Rich Dower, a 3 at second. Eddie Murray, a 10 at first. And the battery, Flanagan, a good fielder, an 8. And Dempsey, a 4 and a 6. So Paul Molitor at 282, 18 homers, and 82 RBI. Remember, Baltimore and Detroit tomorrow at noon. Pitch to Molitor. Ball 4. And that's how this one starts. So Molly not going to steal. Here's Robin Yount. 311, 30 homers, and 93 RBI. How you doing, Captain Carl? Bobby, glad to have you along. And as Paul Simon sings, you can call me Al. Pitch to Yount. There's a ground ball to Ripken. Over to Dower for 1. Back to Murray at first. And Flanagan gets a double play turned his way. So 6-4-3, and there's 2 out for Cecil Cooper. 295, 22 homers, and 113 RBI. Pitch to Cooper. Ground ball to Ripken. Better hurry. Flips it over to Murray, and that will retire the side. So all that to tell you, no runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, Baltimore, nothing. Milwaukee, nothing. So it'll be Murray, Ripken, and Lowenstein for the Orioles here in the second. Eddie at 318, 27 homers, 108 RBI. Pitch from Sutton. Murray, base hit up the left side. That will get down for a single, and Eddie is on first for Cal Ripken at 269. 30 homers and 106 RBI. What a wonderful rookie year for Cal. Throw to first. Murray laughs, and they got him! Ho, ho, ho! Murray was going, and Cooper throws to short to Yount to retire Murray. 1-3-6 on the pickoff and caught stealing. So no count to Cal Ripken. And somebody better hand the Chesterfields to Earl, because I don't think he put that on. Oh, baby. Pitch to Ripken. Fly ball center field. Thomas has it for the out, 2 away. Brings up John Lowenstein at 223. 18 homers and 61 RBI. Yeah, so who are they playing? Game 52 of the White Sox replay. Who are they playing, Demos? Pitch to Lowenstein. Fly ball left center. Thomas comes in to make the catch. No runs, a hit, and then the big pickoff. After an inning and a half, Baltimore nothing, Milwaukee nothing. So tense baseball there. I'm not sure what Eddie Murray was thinking. It'll be Simmons, Thomas, and Ogilvie for Milwaukee. Simmons at 272, 22 homers, and 56 RBI. Flanagan deals, and there's a high fly ball to right, but Renicky will keep it in the yard. 1 away. 70 degrees, winds are blowing left in from left center at 9 to make it a big part. Gorman Thomas at 216, 32 homers, and 81 RBI. Bert Blyleven and the Texas Rangers will play the Chicago White Sox. 1:30 the time for the premiere tomorrow on Baseball Demos. Al, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Pitch to Thomas. Fly ball left field. Into that wind. Lowenstein has it and makes the catch for the second out. Ben Ogilvie at 266, 35 homers. Man, this team can match. And 97 RBI. Flanagan deals, and he got him. He got him to swing and miss on an 0-2 off-speed pitch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, you'd think it was almost October. Baltimore nothing, Milwaukee nothing. Gary Renicky, Rick Dempsey, and Rick Dower. Renicky at 290, 13 homers and 64 RBI. Pitch to Renicky, popped up, left side. Molitor should have it. He does, 1 away. You know, it's hard to believe, and I don't honestly know what's going to happen over the next 5 days, whether Baltimore can actually get this clinched before we start our any meaningful game coverage on Wednesday, or if we just have 3 teams going for the next 5 days. But considering it's September 24th in this replay, the Orioles were not featured the first 2 months of the season. You're going to see an awful lot of the Baltimore Orioles, I suspect, over the next week. Rick Dempsey at 255, they got that down to 1 point, 6 homers and 33 RBI. Pitch from Sutton, base hit past Yount, and Dempsey's on with a single. 1 out, 3rd hit for the Birdies. Brings up Rich Dower at 251, 5 homers and 50 RBI. Baseball's a pickin' and I'm a grinnin'. Yeah. That actually hurt. 1 out, runner on first. Pitch from Sutton. Dower up the middle. Gantner. Only throw is to Cooper at first, and they get Dower. So Dempsey moves to second, and that's Yount, pardon me, not Gantner. So 6-3 on the card. After 9 batters, Don Sutton, 2 2/3 innings, 33 pitches, 3 hits, and nothing else. Al Bunbury singled his first time up. Dempsey on second, top the 3rd, 2 out. Sutton deals, and Bunbury strikes out. He swung on and missed a 1-2 pitch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. 2.5 down. It's still Baltimore nothing, Milwaukee nothing. So Don Money, Charlie Moore, and Jim Gantner to face Flanagan here in the 3rd. Money at 262, 11 homers, 34 RBI. I wonder, I mean, we all do the whole, if you're keeping score at home in the bit, and Al talks about, being healthy for you, and I go, why would you do it? Has anyone actually kept manual score of a PC game? Not a cards and dice game, you have to do that. But like one of these, have you ever just written down what's happened? Pitch to Money, ground ball to Ripken, deep in the hole, long throw over to first, 1 out. And Flanagan is hurt. And so Earl storms out of the dugout, and the trainer and Earl and Dempsey just go there. Flanagan will throw some practice tosses, and Mike says, I'm fine. Get back, Earl. Charlie Moore at 244, 12 homers and 57 RBI. Not what Baltimore needs. Pitch to Moore. Base hit left side. First hit for the Brewers is a single. And so Moore on first for Jim Gantner. You got to say that at the right speed, or else you're calling Charlie a dunce. Gantner at 289, 2 homers and 47 RBI. Oh, okay. Well, Baseball Demos does it. For the White Sox when he plays in the PC. And Mike's kids did indeed call him Father Flanagan. Yes. Mike, of course, is no longer with us. Pitch to Gantner. Ground ball to Dower. Might be 2. Ripken for 1. Over to first. Gantner's hustling and beat it out. So a good try there by the Orioles. And they get the lead runner in Moore. And Gantner's on first with 2 away. Paul Molitor walked his first time up. And Flanagan, 2 2/3 innings, 39 pitches. 1 hit. A walk, a strikeout. And I'm not sure if he's just got a blister on his finger or what. That's what they were looking at. And Flanagan told Earl, get back in the dugout. Pitch to Molly. Fly ball left field. Lowenstein is there, and that will retire the side. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. After 3, it's nothing. Did Sutton pitch for the Astros in 80? I don't think so. I think Sutton Sutton was still with the Dodgers, wasn't he? I think he went to Houston in 81. Maybe it was. Because it was Ryan. Must have been a free agent. It was Ryan. J.R. Richard had the stroke in June. Now you got me wondering. Here's Glenn Gulliver. No wonder about him. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the first. This time he draws a walk. First walk from Sutton. 3-1 was just a bit outside. Here's Singleton. Kenny's 0 for 1. Maybe Harvey Keene is pulling out the lucky strikes. Yes. Yes. With the Miller Lights. He was with LA in 80, so he would have... Now, without looking, Bobby, did he pitch the one-game playoff? The lone, or the first ever one-game playoff in National League history. Pitch to Singleton. Fly ball, right field. Moore in the corner. That's off the wall. Gulliver will hold at third. Singleton will stop at second. Their combined speed is about me after drinking a jolt. And now we'll bring up Eddie Murray, who singled and was thrown out trying to steal second. Nobody out. And a big point here in the game, here in the top of the fourth. Sutton deals. Base hit right side, going all the way to the wall. Gulliver scores. Singleton scores. Murray's on with a double, and it's 2-0 Baltimore. Dave Goltz started. Wow. See, you could have actually, if I was to guess, I would have thought, because I know Fernando came up late in 80. I don't know if they'd have thrown him out. I would never have guessed Dave Goltz. Oh, Al found a strap basketball game, and Joe Niekro shut him out. Contrary to 2 years before, I did not keep my class late after school for the Astros and the Dodgers in 1980. Pitch to Ripken, who's 0 for 1. Ground ball, base hit, left side. Murray will hold at third. And the Orioles have taken Sutton behind the woodshed here. Now, 6 hits and 2 runs. And I've got an itchy nose, which means my wife will kiss a fool at some point tonight. John Lowenstein is 0 for 1. Pitch from Sutton. Ball 4, and Don has him loaded. And the few Oriole fans that are here are on cloud 9. Oh my goodness, there is just really no relief. Harvey Keene goes out to settle down Sutton. He could go with Slayton. No, he can't, because Slayton's going to start. So Dwight Bernard, Jamie Easterly, and Pete Ladd are the bullpen. And Earl Weaver's just kind of giggling over in the dugout. So they're loaded. Nobody out here. Renicky has a grand slam this year. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Pitch from Sutton. Fly ball. Center field. Thomas. 1 out. Murray will take to web gem by Thomas. He actually went up and smashed into the wall. He thought he had room. He went to take that one step back. As the ball hit the glove, he hit the wall. Sack fly, 3-0. But Thomas probably kept this a ball game. Here's Rick Dempsey. He's 1 for 1. He's got a single. Sutton deals. Ground ball to Molitor. Gantner for 1 over to Cooper. Does he have him? Yes, he does. But the Orioles get 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors. 3.5 down. Baltimore draws first blood. They lead 3-0. Sutton needs to do something for sure. So Yount 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play. Flanagan now sitting on a 3-run lead. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left field. Lowenstein is going to hit. Watch that hit the wall. So the Brewers respond immediately with an extra base hit. Here's Cecil Cooper, who's 0 for 1. Flanagan from the stretch gets away from Dempsey, and Yount takes third on the wild pitch. So the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. And Cooper waves the bat back and forth. Flanagan delivers. Base hit or line drive to left field. Lowenstein has it. Yount will tag. The throw is coming home, and Yount barely beats it out. Dempsey got down the tag, but the hand had already passed over the plate. And it's 3-1 Baltimore. For Ted Simmons, who's 0 for 1. Pitch from Flanagan. Line drive to right. Renicke's there for the second out. So Gorman Thomas. Flanagan still, they were checking on the blister in the dugout. But Mike says, I'm going to pitch. And Earl says, you do that. Thomas is 0 for 1. Flanagan's pitch. Base hit left side. Lowenstein grabs it on a couple hops. And now Ben Ogilvy's at the plate as a tying run, as Thomas is on with a single. Third hit for the Brewers. Ogilvy struck out his first time up, 0 for 1. Lone strikeout for Flanagan. He deals, and there's a base hit right side in the hole. Thomas is going to meander to third. Ogilvy will hold at first, and now runners in the corners, 2 out for Don Money, who's 0 for 1. Sutton was once asked if he used a foreign substance, and he answered, I like this, no, Vaseline is made in the United States. I like that. That's a good one. So runners in the corners, 2 out. Pitch to Money. Ball 4. And so Flanagan's up over 70 pitches now, 74 to be exact. They're loaded with 2 out for Charlie Moore, who singled his first time up. So Thomas on third, Ogilvy on second, and Money on first. Moore, by the way, does have a grand slam this year. Flanagan's pitch. Won't be a granny, but it will be a base hit into center field. Thomas scores. Ogilvy ties the game. Money goes to third, and Charlie Moore has a 2-run single. And Al, Red Sox fan, I don't want to know why you know that, but it is made in the USA. Is it made in your part of the world, Al? Here's Jim Gantner, is 0 for 1. So that 3-run lead evaporated like a carton of Chesterfields at the Weaver house. Pitch to Gantner. Ground ball to Dower. Flip to first, and that will retire the side. Nice 2-out rally indeed. 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. And after 4, we're right back to where we started from. Miss Maxine Nightingale would sing. Baltimore 3, Milwaukee 3. So Dower, Bunbury, and Gulliver to face Sutton here in the 5th. And Flanagan is up to 81 pitches after 4. Dower's 0 for 1. Not now, he's not. He lines out one into center. Gantner should have leapt and got it. The leap was late. And that will be a Texas leaguer into center field. And so after 18 batters, Don Sutton has thrown 74 pitches, only 4 innings plus 7 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Al Bunbury is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. And he bunts Sutton to second to Yount for the out there. They get the lead runner. I don't know what the computer was thinking. Earl was just kind of looking at his notes. There must be a rogue third base coach, because there's no way in purgatory that Earl's going to bunt. I wouldn't even have bunted there. Anyway, 1 out. Oh, nice. Friend of mine on Facebook I haven't talked to since high school. Telling me how she's doing. I'll read that a bit later. So Earl is steaming in the dugout. And should be. That was just a bad call. Here's Gulliver. Glenn is walked and grounded into a double play. 1 out, top the 5th. Pitch from Sutton. Ball 4. How you doing, Richard O'Connor? Nice to have you along. Thanks for being with us on a Tuesday night. I'll get to baseball demos in a second. Remember, any meaningful American League East game starts tomorrow at noon, Baltimore at Detroit, and at the moment, Milwaukee and Boston is scheduled for 7 p.m. tomorrow. Single game on Thursday, Baltimore and Detroit, and then we will see. Let's see. I knew Vaseline was for chest colds, but Wikipedia said it was also for nosebleeds. Yeah, and diaper rash, among other things. At least now I have an alternative fix to my diaper rash. I suppose that depends on how often you have it. But yes, the Vaseline is what, as Al would tell you, as the cat wakes up behind me, is what they use on cuts and fights. Singleton 1 for 2. He's doubled and scored. Sutton's pitch. And here's a base hit down the line and left. Bunbury's going to score. Gulliver's going to hold. Singleton doubles, and it's 4-3 Baltimore. And so Sutton and Flanagan, speaking of boxers, have kind of been tomato cans here in the mid-innings. Eddie Murray is 2 for 2. He singled, was thrown out trying to steal second, doubled, and drove him 2. Now has 110 RBI on the year. Simmons and Sutton have a couple words, and it's not about where to get some Miller Lights. Base hit right field. Gulliver will score. Singleton will hold at third, and Eddie Murray is 3 for 3 with 3 RBI. It's 5-3 Baltimore here in the 5th. And it's cooling off for Milwaukee, who really can't afford to lose much. Now 66 degrees with the winds blowing in at left. And they're both workmen bordering on strugglers, and they have scuffled this evening. Cal is 1 for 2, and he walks. And Keene has seen enough. Like a good neighbor, Dwight Bernard is there. Oh, boy, that's an 80s picture if I ever saw one. We got to... Oh, my God. Well, this will be a popular move for the Brewers. Dwight Bernard has pitched like a St. Bernard after drinking one too many casks of, what was it, Crown Royal? That was a St. Bernard? Cuddy Sark, I think it was. Anyway, the good news is he's 6-3 with 2 saves. The bad news is his ERA is 6.16. His last appearance was a week ago against the Yankees. 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk and a strikeout. So over 80 1/3 innings. He's allowed 4 homers, 114 hits, 59 runs, 55 earned, 40 walks, and 44 strikeouts. And there's got to be a game missing in there because he's listed as 5-3, and his screen record is 6-3. But right now, 1 out, bases loaded. Singleton on third, Murray on second, Ripken on first, Lowenstein 0 for 1 with a walk at the plate. Wish it was 66 degrees in New England. Yeah, Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 70 degrees.
Thank you.
Of course. Enjoy your evening.
Well, that was rather impersonal. Yep, the Rays are looking awful good right now, Randy. Pitched to Lowenstein. Struck him out. A 1-2 fastball at 87, and he swung on and missed. 2 big out now for Gary Renicky, who is 0 for 1 with an RBI. Bases still loaded. Base hit up the middle. Singleton will score. Murray scores. Ripken goes to third. Renicky makes it 7-3 Baltimore. And Milwaukee needs to be careful. If they lose this, they're 4 back. Ross Grimsley or John Lowenstein, best white throw in baseball. Al Michaels had a pretty good one for a while too, Al. Rick Dempsey did not. 1 for 2. He is singled and grounded into a double play. Pitch to Bernard. Ground ball to Molitor. Over to first, and that will retire the side. Oh, the magic. Feel it happen. Halfway home. 4 runs on 4 hits and no errors. Yeah, no, Weavers does not qualify as good. It's Baltimore 7. Milwaukee 3, and we are definitely not seeing Milwaukee's best. All 7 runs, by the way, go to Don Sutton. 4 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 walks and a strikeout. Father Flanagan working on his jalopy with now a 4-run lead. Eddie Murray, what a ball game. I guess he's forgiven for getting thrown out trying to steal, because he's driven in 3 for 3, and scored twice. So Flanagan, 2 times through the lineup now, 18 batters in, 81 pitches, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout. Molitor is 0 for 1 with a walk. That was a poodle. Yes, it was. Pitch from Flanagan, ball 4. And that'll bring up Yount. Doubled and scored in the 4th. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 4 left on for the Birds. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 3 left on for the Brewers. And Yount slaps that one to third. Gulliver to second for 1. Over to Murray. Got it! Call it 2. Around the horn, 5-4-3. And now we'll bring up Cecil Cooper, who is 0 for 1 with an RBI. Pitch from Flanagan. Line drive to Ripken. And Baltimore gets their shutdown inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, 7-3 Orioles. So it'll be Rich Dower, Al Bumbry, and Glenn Gulliver here in the 6th. Dower 1 for 2 with a single. Little looper into center field, and that's not what the Brewers needed. A single for Dower, and that's how the 6th starts. So Bumbry 1 for 3. He has struck out. Tried to sacrifice bunt, and that didn't go very well. Singled and scored. Bernard's pitch. Ground ball to Gantner. Over to Yount. Over to Cooper. And they get 2. So it's actually going to go 6-4-3. So 2 out and nobody on for Gulliver, who's still looking for a hit. But he's walked twice and scored twice, along with grounding into a double play. Bernard delivers. Little number down to Yount, over to Cooper, and that's an infield hit. That was kind of a corker off the end of the bat, and Gulliver doesn't care how he got it. His inning streak's at 10. Kenny Singleton has doubled twice, 2 for 3, scored twice, and drove in a run. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Molitor. Flips it to Gantner for the fielder's choice, and that will retire the side. After 5 1/2, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Baltimore 7, Milwaukee 3. So the crowd is quiet, but still here in full force. Simmons, Thomas, and Ogilvy, with Simmons going 0 for 2 so far. Flanagan deals, and there's a little looper that's going to go all the way to the wall on left. And he gets into second with a double and is hurt. Oh goodness, on the replay you can see it. He rolled his ankle sliding into second base. And it's kind of lucky that he didn't twist his knee doing that. That's the Bryce Harper injury. And so he'll stay. It's not like he was fast to begin with. And so Gorman Thomas, 1 for 2, singled and scored. Simmons is just kind of hanging on to second base like a life preserver. Dempsey goes out to talk to Flanagan as Simmons just kind of shakes the ankle. And Thomas sends a high fly ball in the left, but Lowenstein will track it down. Simmons will hold at second, 1 out for Ogilvy. Ben 1 for 2. He is singled, struck out, and scored. Pitch to Ogilvy. Fly ball to right. Reneke's there. Simmons, of course, not going anywhere with the bum ankle, and there's 2 out. So Don Money, 0 for 1 with a walk, will try to bring home the run. Orioles, by the way, have stranded 5. Milwaukee has left 3 on. Money, ground ball to third. Gulliver throws it across the way, and that will retire the side. So, the leadoff double goes nowhere. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 6, it's still Baltimore 7, Milwaukee 3. Eddie Murray, 3 for 3, has singled twice, doubled once, and driven in 3. Now is 111 RBI on the year. Dwight Bernard will start the 7th. He has pitched yeoman's work in relief of Don Sutton. Murray up the middle. Thomas will lay out for it and make the catch, 1 away. Has anyone played it without as played? Yeah, if you do any of like a draft league or throw teams into a pool, all the Patreon games obviously weren't as played. I was curious on how various and long their injuries were, and if it would make you rest the guys. It's make you rest the guys. I should read that out loud. It's good at that. You can set the injuries as long as you want. You can match it, I think, so no one can miss more than the actual games they miss in a season. But it depends. I mean, you can certainly do that. There's an alternative reality mode, which I've not tried out. But yes, you can certainly play without as played. You can create your own lineups. Computer can create lineups for you. All the lineups you saw demos in that 70s tournament were computer created and I kind of adjusted. Cal Ripken 1 for 2 with a walk. Pitch. Fly ball, center field. Thomas. 2 out. So, yes, you can. Long story short. John Lowenstein is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. And you should have moderate, you should have decent success with it, too, depending on what you want to do. Pitch to Lowenstein, ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Gary Reneke, who's big single in the 5th. Scored 2. He also had a sac fly in the 4th. So 7-3 largely in part to Gary Reneke. Bernard delivers, struck him out. So we chase 1 out of the zone on a 1-2 fastball, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Stretch time, 7-3 Baltimore. And so while you see the cue to if you're interested in doing some Patreon stuff, a reminder, we're expecting a split admission doubleheader tomorrow. Baltimore and Detroit at noon, and Milwaukee and Boston at 7. But it really depends on what happens after I finish this game. But starting tomorrow and going as long as it takes, most meaningful games in the American League East until we have a winner. And then, expecting next Monday night at 7, Game 1 of the National League Championship Series from the home of the National League East champion. Montreal has a magic number of 2. And they will face the Los Angeles Dodgers right here on Retro Sports Network. So this replay pretty much goes daily until we crown a World Series champion. All right, Charlie Moore is 2 for 2. He's singled twice and driven in 2. Flanagan deals, and there's a fly ball to center. Bunbury is there for the out. It could be, in fact, Game 1 will be, unless there is a playoff in the American League East, Game 1 would be on not only on a Monday demos, Monday night at 7, but in Montreal on a Blue Monday. Yep, you could very well have it again. Jim Gantner's 0 for 2. Ground ball to second, Dower to Murray and Flanagan. Despite still, I mean, they're still working on that blister between innings, but he's gone 6 2/3 and is in line for his 19th win. Paul Molitor, speaking of which, steps up, walked twice, he's 0 for 1. Flanagan threw 27 batters, 116 pitches. 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. It would be interesting. We're certainly going to get a repeat of 81 of what teams are in there. In fact, with Baltimore now being in the driver's seat in this American League East, you might only have one repeat team from 81, or from 82, period, California. Molitor slaps that one as short. Throw to first is in time, and Flanagan's through 8, or 7. It's still Baltimore 7, Milwaukee 3. Richard, are you a Dodger fan? And so it's going to be, oh my God, Pete Ladd, 1 2 on the year with 3 saves, a 4.50 ERA. If the Brewers make the playoffs, he is your fireman. Bigfoot. I'll take your word for it. September 20th was the last time he pitched. He went an inning against the Red Sox, allowed a hit. He's allowed 2 homers in 18 replay innings, 21 hits, 9 runs all earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 12. In fact, he got the win against the Red Sox, I presume at home. Since 1956. Oh my, Richard, whereabouts in New England are you, buddy? You don't need to give, you can be as general as you want. Rick Dempsey's 1 for 3, so Richard goes back to Brooklyn York and a young Vince Scully. Dempsey's 1 for 3, fly ball, center field, back goes Thomas, 1 out. So Ladd gonna have to kind of stretch to get through 2. Rich Dower is 2 for 3. He is singled twice, and you now see the Achilles heel for the Milwaukee Brewers. If their starters can't make it, their pen, even for 82 standards, is not good. And there's a fly ball, shallow left. Ogilvie comes in, 2 out. It'll be Yount, Cooper, and Simmons for Milwaukee in the bottom of the 8th. Bunbury, 1 for 4. Al's got a single, a run scored, struck out, grounded into a double play, and tried to bunt. This time he slams one all the way to the wall in right center. Bunbury's on with a stand-up double. That's the 13th hit for the Birdies. 7 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and they've left 6 on. Milwaukee, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they've left 4 on. Glenn Gulliver is 1 for 2. He scored twice and walked twice, and reached on an infield hit to extend his hitting streak to 10. Ladd's pitch, base, that's a legitimate base hit, going all the way to the wall in right field. Bunbury's going to score. Randy needs the pads for the chest thingies. It's 8-3 Birdies. And Ken Singleton 2 for 4. He singled twice, doubled twice, scored twice, and drove in a run. Oh, near Hartford. Okay. Flying squirrels are in Hartford. There's plenty of yard goats. At the Dunk. Richard, I had family down in the Waterbury area of Connecticut for years. Fly ball, deep center field. Thomas goes back, makes the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. After 7.5, Baltimore 8, Milwaukee 3. My uncle Ted, was vice president of a plastics company in central Connecticut. I forget whereabouts, but they live just out about 15 minutes from Waterbury. Robin Yount, Cecil Cooper, and Ted Simmons will bat here in the bottom of the eighth. 8-3 Birds. Flanagan, I don't think he'll go a complete game, but Earl Weaver needed this, and Flanagan delivered. Yount 1 for 3 with a double, and a run scored. Line drive to Murray, 1 away. So that works. Very familiar with Waterbury. Okay. And Dave Gardner goes, let's go Habs. Let's go Habs. Yes, Dave. Yes, you finally got it right. Cecil Cooper is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Ground ball to Ripken over to Murray, 2 away. I went and saw the Waterbury Reds in 1981, and they played the Reading Phillies. And if I remember correctly, well, not remember, if my research is correct, Ryan Sandberg played second that night for Reading. Ted Simmons, 1 for 3, rolled his ankle sliding into second on the double. And yes, certainly in recent times, it's been the have-nots. Pitch to Simmons, ground ball to Ripken. Simmons is trying to run. That's just not going to get you anywhere, and the side is retired. Ladd comes out. He threw 22 pitches to retire the side in the eighth. Not in order. After 8, Baltimore 8, Milwaukee 3. Dave said, let's go Mets. Eddie Murray's 3 for 4. He has singled twice, doubled, and driven in 3. Ladd delivers. Ground ball to Cooper over to first, himself 1 away. So for the Brewers, if they are to pull off the miracle, Thomas, Ogilvie, and Money are due to bat in the bottom of the ninth. Cal is 1 for 3. He is singled and walked. Pitch to Ripken. Popped up left side. Yount is there. Molitor is there, and 2 away. Well, Richard, I hope you enjoy, and glad to have you along, my friend. John Lowenstein is 0 for 2. He has walked twice and struck out. Ladd delivers. Strike 3. It got away from Simmons. A flick down to Cooper, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It is Baltimore 8, Milwaukee 3. So it'll be Gorman Thomas, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. Ben Ogilvie and Don Money. Flanagan delivers. Popped up. Dempsey rips off the mask. 1 out. Now here's Ogilvie, 1 for 3. He singled, struck out, and scored a run. I'm glad you're having fun. Flanagan delivers. Struck him out. 1-2 pitch was swung on and missed, and Flanagan might not only put the Birds up by 4 over Milwaukee, but that bullpen's probably going to get the day off unless Don Money can do something. He's 0 for 2. Flanagan delivers. Line drive to Gulliver, and the Orioles win the ball game 8-3. A big start. Oh no. Dave's in the pistachio gallery, not the peanut gallery. So 8-3, the final score. So Eddie Murray is our Miller Lite player of the game. And with Mike Flanagan getting an assist. Murray 3 for 5. He drove in 3 and scored twice. And the Brewers just couldn't get anything going. Mike Flanagan goes to 19-12. Remember, he starts 1 more game. 9 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. They flipped the script. I agree. He threw 144 pitches, and look, that number in parentheses is his real pitch count. He threw 24 over his pitch count. Sabermetrics are fainting around me. Bernard and Ladd did a good job, but it was all for naught. So, all I know is that tomorrow at noon we're doing Baltimore at Detroit. I'm going to play the rest of those games out now until Wednesday. And so when you tune in tomorrow at noon, and I will tell you what the expected schedule is the rest of the way. Detroit and Cleveland to play 2 doubleheaders. So we'll see if they're important. We'll see what we can do. But for now, starting tomorrow and in real time the rest of the way, any meaningful American League East game. All right, I'm Ron Juckett. Hit that like, and did I go to the whole game without a pun? I must, yes, you did. So tune in tomorrow to find out. I'll put, if you're in Al's Discord, I'll put it in there. But tomorrow at noon. Oh, thank you. Someone just sent me a message liking my videos. So until then, Discord tonight, you'll find out tomorrow at noon. We'll explain what we're doing. But any meaningful American League East game starting tomorrow at noon. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. You have yourself a wonderful night. Thank you so much.